Big show today, guys, and what better way to start than with a game that has its own deep-seated philosophy. And that, of course, being that kicking someone in the head is actually no more than another form of artistic expression. Muttley and Bev get a little cultured and express themselves with the art of fighting.
The way I look at it is that if you want to make a fighting game these days, it's got to stand up to the likes of Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat. And this one couldn't stand up against a bucket of cold goat's milk.
Let's see. Your friend's been kidnapped. So what do? Well, in Art of Fighting, Oil and Robert did all they knew how. Now you control their destinies.
The visuals are pretty cool and the sound's average. And sure, you can kick people more ways than any other game, but the slow-moving sprites and lack of really decent moves makes this cut real tiresome, real quick.
This cross between Fatal Fury and Street Fighter 2 offers little more than any other fighting sim, except this one's got a story.
The only thing this fighter game's got that Street Fighter 2 hasn't is a storyline. But then again, who cares? You play the game, not the story. This one gets 50.
You fight your enemies for the information that may hold the key to finding your friend. Lose and she's lost. Each fight will take you closer and closer to the final showdown as you travel through different parts of the city as well as a few bonus rounds. Now it's time for action, so go find it. I give it a 74.
Muttley here, got some zone speak for you. This time it's blows big time. Derived from the Latin words "shotum lager timid." Basically, it's an emphatic way of stating that whatever it is you're talking about is too cool to stand still.
That's a matter of opinion.
I don't know. What do you think? I like it. I told you.
Today's the last week of the Clay Fighter Comp, so it's your final chance to win and book yourself a flight on Air New Zealand to the land of apple pie, cable TV, and gaming arcades the size of shopping centres. And remember, to totally qualify, you must fill in the coupon out now in NMS.
Hi, Janice here. Later, I'll be bringing you a play guide to Super Empire Strikes Back. Also, I'll pass on some feedback on your letters, the good and the bad.
RPG is gaming speak for role-playing games like Young Merlin or Dungeons & Dragons. You take on the persona of a given character and set off on a quest to save a fantasy world from destruction at the hands of an evil ruler. Zelda is one of Nintendo's biggest and best RPGs. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past is the follow-up. Does it measure up to its predecessor? Let's find out.
You're instantly hooked onto this RPG the moment you start. Although the graphics are simple and the sound effects and music okay, the quest really gets you involved.
The Zelda games were some of the best games ever released on the old 8-bit Nintendo, and The Legend of Zelda continues the tradition. This is one of the best 16-bit role-playing games ever made, and if you don't play it, you'll never know what you're missing.
It's so much fun to play, even those who hate playing role-playing games will get drawn into the adventure. There's so much to do in your journey, you'll rarely want to turn the machine off.
It looks beautiful, the soundtrack is amazing, and the gameplay is compelling and exciting. It might be over quicker than you'd like, but you'll love every minute. It scores the Legend mark of 93.
Simple controls and battery backup, so you never have to restart at the beginning, make Zelda a well-designed game. Definitely check this out. Overall, 90.
Stand by for some red-hot flying action with the top guns from Tomcat Alley, all the special attack moves for Clay Fighter, Flashback, and Muttley with the buzz, right here on your gaming connection, The Zone.
I'm gonna take you to a place you've never been before.
With ZL2, the mission's simple. Simple? She said simple. Badlands, here we come.
Engage game power. Thunderhawk CD. That should confuse them.
Thunderhawk on Mega CD. Fly through 48 missions in this full-scale 3D helicopter combat simulation. Fast, responsive gameplay.
This is it.
More power, gamers. Keep that gate open.
Game power increased with Sonic 3. 7 entirely new levels with 3D stages, fireball power-ups, and special bonus stages. Game power increased.
Test the health transfer.
Health transfer NBA Jam to engage special turbo mode. When tonight's matchup appears, press button A 13 times. Hold down buttons B and C until the court appears.
Did you feel like no transfer? No transfer. It's like we're on our own. I believe in fairy winkles. Believe they're magical. Yes, sirree. Fairy winkles, fairy winkles. Oh, wow! They come to live with me. Wow! Fairy winkles in my flower pot. I believe in fairy winkles. Look, a pool party. Fairy winkles, you're so cute. Believe they're magical. Yes, I do. I believe in fairy winkles. Don't you? I do. I do. Me too. Me too. There's a world of fairy winkles for you to collect, each sold separately.
One brand of toilet tissue is becoming one of Australia's favourites. And guess who's behind it?
Here's a cheat for rock and roll racing that will allow you to race on the Inferno planet without having to complete all the other races. First up, buy your car and go to Change Planet. Hold down the left, right and select buttons while moving through the planets, and before long, you'll hit Inferno.
Here's another Zone Speak word for you. It starts with a P and ends with a P. And if you say rhinoceros, well, you're an idiot. Power Up is in lots of places, in lots of games. And what it is a super energy boost for your character.
You are now entering. We've had loss of signal now.
The F-14X Tomcat is the Navy's most lethal interceptor, and this is your chance to put it through its paces. An interactive game for the Sega Mega CD, the live action was directed by visual effects legend Sam Nicholson, whose credits include Ghostbusters and Star Trek The Motion Picture. If you've got a weak stomach though, get ready to break out the airsick bags, because this supersonic fighter takes no prisoners.
Here's an excellent interactive flight simulating piece of game grindage. It's got an excellent video intro that sets the scene for you, the most excellent squadron leader, to show how proficient you are at locating and destroying set targets in enemy fighters.
Talk about being in the hot seat. This one's burning. Tomcat Alley is an excellent interactive video flight sim. I mean, guys, this one's got it all. Get your mission brief from your CO, communicate with your wingman, and even put in your navigation points. And do all this while trying not to get shot.
With precision controls and smooth scrolling, you'll be delirious with the joys of battle and air sickness all at the same time. A huge sound thumps out of this piece that'll keep you playing for hours on end, but which end is up to you. This scores big time with an 85.
You take control of an F-14 fighter jet and fly it right to the limits. With full motion video and realistic flight sequences, this flight sim is one of the best around for the Mega CD. So check your six, guys, because it's coming at you fast. I give it an 88.
We've had loss of signal now.
For those of us who like a no-holds-bar encounter of the bruising kind, this is a must. Called the tank because of its .05 steel shell, arcade-style buttons, and it's the size of a small tank, this beast can take all the kicks and punches you can make, which is just right for some of our fave fight games, but not so good for racing games or those which require a delicate touch. As accessories go in the ever-swelling ranks of controllers, this is frontline stuff.
I tell you, the guys reviewing this game better be nice. It's one of my all-time favourite Mega Drive games, and it's finally arrived on the Super Nintendo. I'm referring to the all-time great action-adventure cart, Flashback.
Everybody knows this has superb graphics, lifelike animation, and excellent sound, but does it play well? Many players are going to be real frustrated. You know what to do, but the tricky controls and dodgy response make your job very difficult.
This is exactly the same game as the Mega Drive version, but that's okay. Flashback is still one of the classiest platformers of all time. Everyone talks about the smooth, rotoscoped animation, but it plays even better than it looks.
The upshot is there's a lot to accomplish, and the challenge level is high. So if you fancy yourself a dead-hard player with a lot of patience, then have a go. The flawed controls took away the enjoyment from it. Overall, 79.
Everything is just so fluid and responsive, you'd swear you were Conrad Hart. And the mix of action and puzzle solving is excellent. There's only 6 levels, but if you've never played it on a Mega Drive, don't miss it. 85.
What buzz? Ask me what buzz I've got. Hey, Matt, what buzz have you got? Funny you should ask. Time for the buzz.
Okay, here's some buzz first up. It's here, it's been in your store 2 days, and best of all, it's Australian. The latest from Mr. Kerry Packer's multimedia empire, a magazine called GameStar. Actually, speaking of Mr. Packer, and I don't say Mr. to many people, thanks for the gig, Kerry. The mag's targeted to the primary 10 to 17-year-old age group, and is packed with the stuff that you crave for, on all the formats that you want to know about. It's got posters, comps, giveaways, and all those marketing type gimmicks that you, the consumer, rightfully deserve. And to kick off their first issue, there's a huge preview on that ripping Aussie title called Nightmare, that was brought to you from the boys at A Couple of Cowboys and Laserbeam Software. It's been downloaded onto a cart and CD version, and retitled Atmosphere. Pretty spooky. They're also covering a bit on the censorship issue, which is having a lot to say in both what we can preview for you here on The Zone, as well as what you can actually play in your own home. And we'll be keeping you up to date on that issue as well. It's a serious business. Don't forget, to get all those Mortal Kombat 2 special moves and cheats, like friendships, babalities, and the truly awesome way to morph into Butthead from that excellent dynamic duo Beavis and Butthead, the TZM Mortal Kombat cheat line is open to you on 0055269190. I'll say that once more before you can get a pen. 0055269190. It'll cost you though 22 cents every 25 seconds in fact, so you better check with your olds first. Now that I've blurged my weekly details upon you, I shall make my exit stage right and hopefully see you next week. But till then, remember, I'm Muttley and you're not, so thank you, Mother. I said I was gone. Otherwise, sue me. Anyway, the big news is the Sega rental plan. Sega are releasing their new games into rental stores. You can get any of the new release games for about $5 a night on rental. Then, after about 6 months, they're released into the retail outlets, where you can pick them up for about $69.95. Good price. I'll catch you later.
Play it.
Muttley, you ledge. And to all the people at GameStar Mag, good luck. While we're talking mags, have you ever wondered what goes into putting one together? We have, and starting next week on The Zone, we kick off our behind-the-scenes quiz at Australia's gaming mags. The people, the scandals, the freebies, and all the other sort of details coming at you soon on The Zone. Stand by for NBA Tournament Challenge, Mario Kart, and a sneak preview of the 3DO game that stole the show at the CES.
We've had loss of signal now.
It's hot. Yo! It's spicy. It's hey-hey.
It's different. It's a matter of opinion.
I don't know. What do you think?
I like it.
I told you.
If you didn't pick up the password then, chill. You've still got one more chance today. And if you don't have a clue what I'm talking about, well, you've blown the opportunity to travel stateside with Air New Zealand to hang out at the Awesome Ocean software. If you're still in the running, don't forget to fill out the coupon in NMS Mag and then send it with all the passwords and the Clay Fighter barcode to Clay Fighter Ahoy Competition, NMS, PO Box A305, Sydney South, New South Wales, 2000. One more time. Clay Fighter Ahoy Competition, NMS, PO Box A305, Sydney South, New South Wales, 2000. Good luck, guys.
I'm gonna take you to a place you've never been before.
One of the most hugely popular arcade games has just got even bigger. I'm talking about the one and only, all-conquering, all-slamming NBA Tournament Challenge.
I didn't think NBA Jam had been around long enough to bring out a sequel, but the gang at Midway thought it was high time. NBA Jam Tournament Edition is bigger and better, with 100 players to choose from, half-time substitutions, up to 5 players, and a whole new stack of moves. Best of all, there's over 70 power-ups and secret moves to discover. That should keep you busy for a while. The same team can even play against itself for a true test of who has the best ball handling skills. Graphics and sound are pretty much the same, but they were great in the first place. It's got enough to keep you going till the release of NBA Jam 3.
As promised, here's the play guide for Super Empire Strikes Back. and it goes something like this. Here's a simple one. When the big guns pop out of the floor to fire at you, block the shots with your lightsaber, and the gunshots will be deflected back, blowing the guns up. Pretty cool, huh? Alright, here's a more in-depth one. Once you've passed all the icy stages on the planet Hoth, and you're on the Yoda levels, this is where you have to fight the big green monster thingy, you enter a part where the screen scrolls itself. When the screen is doing its autopilot scrolling stuff, that is when Luke is on the bridge thingy, jump onto the rocks above you, but you must be fast and go as high as possible. When you get to the top, you see all the Force orbs you need to make Luke a very happy little Jedi. When fighting the green monster, use the Force to heal your wounds. To destroy the beast from hell, you must use the Three Stooges approach and poke its eyes out. The best way to achieve this is by doing somersaults with your lightsaber out and kicking over the right-hand side of the monster and doing the same over on the left-hand side. Then the last couple of eyes you just kill by jumping over the center. When all the eyes are gone, so too is this big green monster. Finally, the last stage when you fight Darth himself, when you fight your Dark Daddy, again use the heal orb of Force to build your health. When Darth attacks you by throwing all the boxes and crates at you, hit as many of them as you can, because the more you hit, the more Force power-ups you get.
We've had loss of signal now.
At first glance, Mario Kart looks like a game made for the preschool crew. I mean, what self-respecting driving ace would possibly find a challenge pitting their well-oiled skills against a tubby Italian plumber and his very weird associates? But then again, I could always be wrong.
Mario Kart isn't a serious racing sim like Nigel Mansell's or Virtual Racing. You've got weapons to pick up, shortcuts on some tracks, and brilliant two-player modes to choose from.
Don't let the kitty-cute graphics and Mario World characters fool you. This is the most competitive, adrenaline-pumping racer I've ever played, and one of the best two-player games ever made.
The characters are cute-looking, but really cool. The go-karts are ultra-responsive and very fast, and the tracks can be very perilous. The music sets up the fun racing vibe perfectly, and the revs and skids make you feel as if you're really there.
Cool Mode 7 programming gives you heaps of super smooth tracks to race on. There's loads of power-ups, and the battle mode is hilarious. Once you get the hang of the touchy controls, you'll be power sliding your way to victory for years to come. Mario scores a big 92.
It's easily one of the best two-player games in my books, and one you'll never get sick of. A must-have. Overall, 93.
On the first edition of The Zone, we blew minds with that beast of a machine, the Panasonic 3DO. Well, we're about to do it all again. The game is called Shockwave Invasion Earth 2019. Now tell me this doesn't give you a head case.
Houston, Omaha, this is Space Shuttle Endeavour. We're picking up thousands of radar bits.
Oh my God. There are thousands of them.
Wildcard, I think it's a mistake with the old man that's sending you in. Stay cool. Play it safe and straight, people. Boomer out.
Was I right or was I right? Okay, so it's going to be a while before any of us can afford to play the 3DO anyway. But if Shockwave is any indication, it's sure going to be worth the wait.
Whether you love this dude or hate him, he's back, and this is his best gig yet. It's got everything that made the first game famous, plus more, such as new power-ups and bigger and better levels. The scrolling, noise, visuals, etc. are all top quality as you'd expect, and the gameplay's top-notch.
The fastest ball of blue is back in his latest and greatest adventure yet, Sonic 3. That's right guys, it's time to grab the joypad by the buttons and take on Robotnik once more. But this time though, you've got a new friend to help. A punk echidna by the name of Knuckles. And guys, he's pink.
Even those amongst us who think Sonic's nothing more than a hedged dog with an ego problem should check this sucker out. Overall, an excellent platformer with as much attitude as you can get from a blue hedgehog and his sidekick Fox, fighting against Doctor of Robotniks and a pink cyberpunk echidna. It gets 85.
There are totally new bonus zones, with excellent 3D scrolling animation. Can you turn the blue balls red? Do so, and you get the emerald. With brand new enemies and a load of new level features, this blue boy still hasn't shown us all the tricks up his sleeve. So check him out. I give it a 94.
Don't you move a muscle, because coming up we review Return to Zork, and you get your last chance to be the happiest game freak in the land.
You are now entering. We've had loss of signal now.
With ZL2, the mission's simple.
Simple? She said simple?
Badlands, here we come.
Engage game power. Good. Thunderhawk CD. That should confuse them.
Thunderhawk on Mega CD. Fly through 48 missions in this full-scale 3D helicopter combat simulation. Fast, responsive gameplay.
This is it.
All power gamers, keep that gate open.
Game power increased with Sonic 3. 7 entirely new levels with 3D stages, fireball power-ups, and special bonus stages. Game power increased.
Test the health transfer.
Health transfer NBA Jam to engage special turbo mode. When tonight's matchup appears, press button A 13 times. Hold down buttons B and C until the court appears.
Did you feel that?
No transfer, no transfer.
It's like we're on our own.
Did you see that? I believe in fairy winkles, believe they're magical, yes sirree. Fairy winkles, fairy winkles.
We've had loss of signal now.
Stand by for the final password in 3, 2, 1.
That's a matter of opinion.
I don't know. I like it, I like it. I told you.
Time to kick in a PC mode. The game, Return to Zork, and at the controls, me.
The Return to Zork.
For all you guys in touch with the older Zork adventures, it's going to look and sound a lot different to the last time, especially considering there wasn't anything to look at or listen to, except for that exciting bold text on a black background. Not so anymore. In fact, Zork is one of the most hip-looking places you'll ever see on your VGA screen, with full-motion video, including cameo appearances by some familiar faces from the tube, like Kevin Arnold's bigger brother from the Wonder Years, for example. Some of the backdrops are spectacular, and of course, there's a whole lot of speech. So no more guesswork typing your life away, just point and click on what you want to say or do, and you got it, which is way cooler than the older method. The main thing is, with all of the improvements, they managed to keep the old classic adventures intact, making it worth returning to trundle around Zork another time. It's a bit more special on the CD, but if you don't have a ROM player, then the disc version is enough to keep you vibed. It's got a big 82 for this big game.
I like it, I like it. I told you.
We promised you those special attack moves on Clay Fighter, so here they are. First up, for Blue Suede Goo, if you want that wild hair blade, you've got to press down, down, back and punch. For Bad Mr. Frosty's giant snowball, first you got to charge back, then forward, and then punch. And for Ichabod Clay's Ecto Ball, go down, then down forward, and punch. Now, Helga had the scream that launched 1,000 headaches, so if you want her Viking round, you've got to go down, down forward, then forward and punch. And as they say, practice makes perfect. Next week, more of the same huge gaming we gave you this week, then some more stuff like our lame games section, and we take a look behind the scenes at the mags. So zone in next week. Of course you'll be there. See you later. Bye.